What is up, all you Facebook gamers out there? This is the Facebook Gamer bringing you another gameplay video, and this time we're going to be taking a look at ChronoBlade. Now, before I go into too much detail about this game, I do have to let you know that it is in beta. So when and if this game ever gets out of beta, there's probably going to be a lot of different things that you're going to be seeing going on with this game. So just keep that in mind that it is in beta. There are a few things missing, and the game really isn't complete yet. But luckily, there's enough content here for it to be a fun and enjoyable experience for you. When you first load up ChronoBlade and you get into the game, and after everything's loaded, you're going to be brought to your character selection screen. Now, there isn't a whole lot in the way of character customization here, and when you first start up and you play, you're only going to have access to your first character, this Auroch guy. He's basically like a melee fighter, I guess you could say. He resembles a warrior or a barbarian, if you will. But as you progress through the game, I'm assuming anyways, you can unlock these other characters that you see over here on the left-hand side. I've actually completed Chapter 1, and getting this character right here, Lofi, she was actually kind of like a reward for completing the first chapter of this game. So right now we're just going to jump into gameplay, and I'm going to show you how the game plays. So after you've selected your character of choice, you're going to be brought to this map screen. And this is where actually all of your quests are going to be located. And as you can see by the noted by these yellow dots, I guess is going to be where your quest line is going to take you. And if you just follow along the roadish kind of design on the map, you can see that it kind of twists around. And eventually you'll unlock everything up all the way to Ashgard. So each quest has different difficulty levels. You can pretty much start at any difficulty level you want to, either normal, hard, or heroic. And you've got your skill tree here in your inventory, which we'll get into a little bit later. But for now, I'm just going to start this one on normal here and give you a little bit of gameplay footage. Now, the sound music and the sound quality in this game is top-notch, I've got to say. And for a Facebook game, it's really quite awesome. So all of your attacks are mapped to your keyboard buttons. You've got your basic attack, which is your S. And your D button is kind of like your power attack. And then you also have a block key, which is A. And that basically just blocks attacks from the enemies that come. Not only do you have your basic attacks with S and D on your keyboard, and your block attack with A, you're also able to map your abilities and your skills to the keys Q, W, E, and R on your keyboard as well. As you're killing the enemies, you can see that they're dropping items, and these items are going to range everything from basically vendor trash to things that you can salvage when you're doing your crafting, and even upgrades for your character. Since my character's level 9 and I'm playing the first level in the game right now, chances are I'm probably not going to find an upgrade, but it's going to be all used for crafting materials anyways. And crafting is something we'll get into a little bit later as well. And the gist of this game is you basically need to use your attacks and build up combos. As you can see in the top right-hand side, my combo counter, I guess you could say, builds up the more times I hit an enemy. And the higher that is, the more of a score that you get. And your score is important because at the end of each level, you are given a reward. It's basically just a treasure chest, and the type of items and the amount of items that you get is really dependent on the type of score that you get.
3, 2, 1, fight!
As you're killing things, you're going to be gaining experience, collecting items, collecting gold, collecting loot. And as you gain experience, you will be increasing your character's level, which will award you, I think you're awarded 2 skill points every time that your character levels up, and which then you can go into your skill tree. Now keep in mind, currently in this beta, there are only 2 different characters to choose from, and their skill trees are going to look very similar, with the exception being that, of course, their skills and abilities are going to be vastly different. Like I said, each time that your character levels up, you will be gaining 2 skill points that you can put into these. And it's just basically like any other skill tree that you're used to seeing if you've ever played an action RPG game. You got to put points into one tier to unlock the second tier, and as you progress, the skills and abilities that become available to you are going to be more stronger and more powerful. And it looks like all of these skills are capped at about 5 points. I currently don't know what the highest level is that you can achieve on ChronoBlade, so I really don't know about how deep you can really get into this skill tree. And at any time, you're also available to reset your skill points. I think I've already done this once, and each time that you do, the amount of gold that it's going to cost you to do this is going to increase as well. So now we're going to come over here and we're going to jump into crafting. When I first started this game, I was really kind of confused and I really didn't understand how crafting works. But the general idea of it is that you grab an item that you're wanting to upgrade, and you're going to bring it up here to this box and drop it. And this is going to change the information up here. It's going to tell you what materials are required to do this. And then there's of course going to be a craft button over here, and if you don't have any of those materials, you can actually spend these crystal points and do it without using any of the materials. And basically, if you use these crystals, they're going to speed up the process of your crafting. But of course, these crystals are actually going to cost real money. You can buy them, or you could just do it the old-fashioned way and grind out all the junk and then just salvage the items for these materials. So one of the things I really didn't understand when I first started is how to salvage items. Once you're over here in your crafting screen, you just come down here to the bottom to where this icon says salvage items to create materials for upgrades. Go ahead and give it a click, and then you're going to want to mouse over your items that you want to salvage. Say we'll take this item for example. And it also does have loot compare, so if you see off to the left hand side that if I equip this item that's in my inventory on the right hand side, I'm actually going to lose 38 health and 24 combat power, which isn't what I'm going to want. So I'm just going to go ahead and salvage this. Once you do that, a little notification pops up and tells you what it is that you received from that salvage process. And what I like doing is I just like salvaging all the junk. You do get quite a bit of gold, but since I'm really not hurting for gold at the moment, I'm just going to go ahead and salvage all of this stuff. Now we're going to jump into the store and take a look at the store items here. And as you can assume, that most of the items that you're actually going to want are going to cost you these crystals. I think they're actually, yeah, they're just called the crystals. But there are, however, some items that you can buy with gold. Let's see if I can find one here, right? Where it's not going to be as much of an upgrade, but if you're just playing through the game, you just want to go ahead and check this every once in a while to see if it actually is an upgrade. As you can see, this is an upgrade for me, but I'm not going to purchase it since I'm planning on just grinding out some either gold or better items anyways to get a little bit better at the game. It's also got a category drop-down list where you can narrow it down to exactly what you're looking for. Not only does it sell equipment in the store, but you can also buy items. These items include health potions, energy potions, med packs, bonuses to experience, grenades, basically utility items that help out your character. And then you've also got a boost screen, and again, since this game is in beta, they haven't implemented anything for that yet. And then on the feature tabs, it just basically shows you what you should be buying if you're really into that kind of sort of thing, just having things given to you rather than actually farming for you. Because you just buy a chest for this 1,500 gold, and then you open it and you get a couple of random items. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not. Once again, ChronoBlade, it is in beta. There are going to be 2 features that are in the works of being implemented in the game. And that is actually the arena and guild support. And as you can see here, they're just grayed out. They're coming soon. Hopefully we'll get to see that in the very near future. So that's what we got here, ChronoBlade in a nutshell. I've gone over pretty much the basics of the game, and hopefully you can make your own decision whether or not it's worth your time or not. This is the FBGmer, signing out.
Come on!